So I believe we have a bit of portions that we haven't covered yet, and that is from I Have a Broom. So just recapping that what we have learned, I Have a Broom is a poem by Zhai Zhongming, who's a Chinese poet. She was prominent during the 1980s, and that she has written a lot about women experiences in China, especially after the time of Mao Zedong. So, in this particular poem, we can see that work gives our speaker a sense of meaning and purpose. It becomes an instrument for social transformation as well as self expression. It sort of acts like a shield against life's mockeries and all those things. So let's just look at the first few lines. That is, the poet says that she has a broom. That is, she has a tool. She has work to do. This gives her a sense of meaning and purpose. And that leads to her having a very colorful life. That is a very productive, very engaging life. It isn't sedentary, it isn't passive. She is taking an active role in her life. And it is not at all a boring life, but rather it is very exciting and it is fun. Then she says that this particular job that she has, it has paved a path that is her own. That is, it has given her life a sense of purpose as well as meaning. It has given her life a path, a way, a method that she could follow. I told you in the class that work gives you a sense of structure in your life. I illustrated the example of our lives during the lockdown period, where we just didn't really have a structured life. But now that we are actually attending college or working in a college, what we can notice is that we have to wake up in a certain time, we have to do certain works. We're not allowed to lead a unstructured life. There is a path that we must follow. Similarly, this job offers our speaker a path that she can follow. This allows her to ignore her neighbors' ridicule and the obstructions of relatives and friends. That is, she by having a work, she is her own individual. She is an adult now. She no longer has to take into consideration all the negativity that is around her and the negativity that is spread by people around her. She is somebody who is capable of dealing with things or on her own. And she doesn't need to take into account the negativity of her neighbors, relatives, or friends. She can ignore all that. And now she explicitly states that I have a broom. That broom refers to work. I have a broom, I have work. That is, this broom is a metaphor, it is a symbol for work. Jolly, Toril. I sweep away today's and yesterday's garbage, clean away the filth in the street and in people's mind. That is, by having a job, by having a structured life, by having this organized way in life, what we can notice is that it gives her an opportunity to sweep away today's and yesterday's garbage. That is the negativity and the toxicities of people and the work environment and all the other things around her. She can ignore all that. She can clean away the filth in the streets and in people's mind. That she can start a new life, start a new page, clean her own life, make it proper, make it neat. I put on my work clothes, looking in the mirror. Now I understand the mildness of my mother's eyes. So now she has a job and she's an adult. She's somebody who can take care of her own. But by being an adult, she's also able to relate with adults. I told you that once we start growing up, we start to empathize and relate with our parents. When we were younger, when we were kids, we might not have been able to relate so much with our own parents. We might not have been able to connect with them, take into account all the decisions that they took. Why did they do that? We probably didn't have an answer for that then, but right now, as we are older, as we have put on new work clothes, we have become adults, we have a uniform for becoming adults. Looking in the mirror, that is self reflecting. Looking in the mirror, you look at the mirror to look at yourself, and she's reflecting about herself. Now I understand the mildness of her mother's eyes. That is, looking in the mirror, she sees her own mother. She is able to empathize and relate with her own mother. There is the mildness of her mother's eyes. She's able to understand that. She's able to understand all the decisions that her mother was forced to take, which she didn't quite understand when she was a child. This particular aspect of this poem relates to how we all grow up, we all come out of that bubble that we have. I'll never again have to cast perplexed looks into the streets, into a corner, at the colors of billboards, neither in the plain wrinkles of my mother's brow must I dodge fears of my inability. That is, this section of the poem talks about insecurities. The poet feels insecure about herself. That is, before having a job, the poet always felt that she doubted her own capacity, doubted her own abilities, doubted her own life. But now that she has a work and she is contributing positively to society, what we can see is that she doesn't have to be perplexed. She doesn't have to be confused. She doesn't have to uh, be insecure about herself. That is, fears of my inability. Fears of being unable to do something is called insecurity. So she doesn't have to feel insecure about herself. She doesn't have to feel confused. She doesn't have to feel fearful. She can walk with her shoulders back, chest up in the air, proud that she has a job. So it gives her a sense of confidence, purpose, pride, all these things. So having work and job to do is something that is very crucial and important to lead a successful yet confident and happy life. Without anything like that, one becomes very insecure. One starts to doubt oneself. All these things happen. So in order to avoid this, one must be very in order to avoid this, one must have a job. One must have a structure, have a purpose in life. And a job or work offers all of those. With the blessing written out by my mother's eyes, I brandish a broom and move on, greeting the morning breeze behind me a clean street. That is, with the blessing written out by my mother's eyes. That is, now that she has become a mother, become an adult, she can relate with her own mother. And her mother acknowledges her as a child, as an adult. See, what is most important to us is that our parents acknowledge us. And we can only achieve that once we are adults and we have achieved a sense of purpose or success in life. Then our parents will start to acknowledge us. അംഗീകരിക്കുക എന്ന് പറയില്ലേ, നമ്മുടെ പാരൻസ് നമ്മളെ അംഗീകരിക്കും. So now that she has a job, she has her mother's blessing, and she can properly be proud of herself. She is all grown up, she has a job, she has a purpose, she has meaning in her life. But not only that, she also has the blessing of her own mother. She has a sense of purpose. And with all that, she is brandishing a broom. That is, she is handling a broom. She has taken hold of a broom. And she is using that to generate meaning, generate purpose. She's using work. Broom means a mop. Broom means this. There is something that is used to clean, right? So even though it might not necessarily be, like a white collar proper job, it's still work. There is still dignity in work. Any sort of work is dignified. So she brandishes a move and moves on to greet the morning breeze. This is a new day, a new start, which is different from her previous life, which was full of insecurities, which was full of confusion, which was full of fear. But now she's greeting this new day, this morning breeze, and she feels proud of herself. She feels happy, she feels confident, she feels like an adult now. And behind me, a clean street. So that is both a explicit explanation about the work that she's doing, but also a metaphor for her own life. That is, now her life is a clean street. It is something that is fresh. It is something that is new. So what we can see is that this work offers her an opportunity to start a new life, and this is something that is very new to her. And she of this life is something that is new to her. This purpose, this confidence that she has behind her, it is a clean street. That is, she no longer has to feel insecure about her past. She no longer has to be confused about her past. So that is the poem I have approved, and I have sent you this PDF. So just refer to this PDF while studying. It has the analysis, it has the various themes and all. So just refer to this particular PDF file studying this point.